All right. I'm going to spend some time right now. Those of you who do not like LeBron James, this might be a time for you to go get you some popcorn or go to the store, maybe pick up your children, turn the radio off because I'm about to have a LeBron James celebration moment. And you know what? Stay tuned because this is not about LeBron James being the greatest in history. This week, I'm actually going to be launching a Pass the Baton series of my Global Majority. And I've been spending the last couple of months like sitting and agonizing over, we have 5 people, our top 5. How do we pass the baton from one to the other? So I passed the baton from the first man, Earl Lloyd, to ever play in the NBA, passed that off to Bill Russell, who was the first man to actually coach and play championship. Pass that off to Magic Johnson. Why? Because he revolutionized what it meant to be a point guard in the league and also off the court. So there's also an off the court component because Bill Russell was also deep in the civil rights movement and doing other things off the court. Magic Johnson, any place that you live in this country, Magic Johnson has a theater and he's done some things off the court that I think have been amazing, in addition to everything he's had in terms of a health challenge to win and go on, to me, to be a blueprint of that gave us Jalen Rose and even a LeBron James type, somebody at 6'9", 6'10", who was specifically someone who passed the ball. That baton was passed to MJ Michael Jordan, who is, to me, the greatest basketball player physically of all time. And I struggle with this. Should we pass it to Kobe, who was literally a blueprint of Michael Jordan? Does that baton get passed to Kobe? And I said, no, it gets passed to LeBron because LeBron is going to, and this was 3 months ago, going to break Kareem Abdul Jabbar's scoring record. And I believe no one's going to be able to catch him in our lifetime. And he did that last night in the third quarter of the game on the Lakers court with Kareem Abdul Jabbar in attendance. It was a chill because when he dropped the 28th point, I think it was the 28th point is what he needed. When he dropped that basket, which was a fadeaway, boom, it hit. They stopped the game. His mama, his wife, his 3 children came onto the court. Maverick was there. Rich Paul was there. The court was flooded. Adam Silver, LeBron thanked everybody. It was a beautiful moment because it's history. And anybody that could be mad about history being made, y'all are living in history. You are living, witnessing, and witness. Come on through. I'm struggling right now with Phil Knight at Nike, but the black folk that make the creatives at Nike, the people that make those commercials, those black people brought the pastor in. They got a Nike commercial that is fire celebrating this surpassing of Kareem Abdul Jabbar, which again, this won't be broken in our lifetime. Okay. And let me just put it in perspective. LeBron James did it in 150 fewer games. They don't even play. They play like 82 games a season. So he did it in a season and a half almost. Yes. Almost a season and 3 quarters, shorter period of time than Kareem Abdul-Jabbar did it. He's the youngest player to reach every milestone. Youngest player to reach 1,000 points. Youngest player to reach 10,000, 20,000, 30,000. He's the youngest at every benchmark. And he scored at least 10 points in 1,100 consecutive games. That's the longest streak in the history of the NBA. You have to put these things in perspective. He's the oldest player to average 30 points a game. He's probably going to break that record this year. And I'm going to go through like who could catch him, who's still playing, but they won't because he's still playing and he's averaging almost 30 points a game. So by the end of the season, he might be at 40,000 and then he's playing again next season, right? And he doesn't seem to be slowing down. Like if he never took another shot, I don't think he would be caught, but I think he's going to exceed 40,000. And here's why. LeBron James is a video of him talking with his sons, I think yesterday, about breaking this record. And he said, okay, so that means I have to score 8 points. Like he went through it. I have to score 8 points a quarter. This is a man that has a notepad somewhere with goals on it. This is a man that wears bracelets on his arms, on his arm. And they basically are like, don't ever embarrass my mother. Don't ever embarrass my wife. Like he reminds himself every day that he doesn't want to be an embarrassment to his family or community. That's a reminder. He wears that on his arm. He's a man that came from some really difficult, very difficult background with his mom, not really knowing whether she's going to come home, not really having enough to eat. to become this man who understands not just the importance of being a good father. You see him with his children. He's playing in the NBA and he's on the sidelines at his son's games. You see him with his little girl. You see him with his wife. He is setting the blueprint. And I don't know the intricacies of their relationship, but I know publicly this man is saying, I am going to honor this relationship in the way that maybe I didn't even know how to do, but I'm figuring this out. One of the first things he did when he got into the league was set up a meeting with Warren Buffett. Why? Because he wants to be the first billionaire player. That's a goal. He's got that written down somewhere. I want to be the first billionaire. Why? Because it's a milestone that is achievable, but he needed to know how to do it. So he met with Warren Buffett. Okay, how do I do this? And he's well on his way. He has on his board somewhere he wants to play with one of his sons. I'm sure he's going to be playing with Bronny in a couple. He's staying healthy to play. And for him, reaching these milestones is not, and there's a lot of haterade out there. And I don't really understand it because all he does is all he is great. There was a time where we could celebrate greatness, right? Instead of all of this versus stuff that we got like a very versus mentality. Like we can't appreciate somebody because they're not wearing the colors that we like. Or we didn't like the decision. We didn't like him going to play in Miami. But did you like him coming back home? You burnt his jersey and called him trash. But when he came home, you were the same people cheering when he won a championship and then built a school and then came back home and then built something for the parents of the students in his school and then built a whole roadmap and a whole town around empowering the kids that didn't have the opportunities that he didn't have as well growing up and wanting to make sure that he changed that and made a difference. I don't know how you cannot like LeBron James. You could call him a flopper or whatever, but try to stop him as that young man did, who I'm not even going to mention his name because I think it's unfair that you'll be the person that will be posterized forever for having LeBron score the record amount of points that put him in the record books. But I'm not even, I feel like he's going to definitely exceed 40,000 beyond that. And so let me just put in perspective this. And for the record, Kareem Abdul Jabbar wasn't really happy. He put on a smile last night, but he wasn't feeling this. He wasn't feeling this at all. Because he thought he's 70 years old. He thought, this record would never be caught. Most people thought it would never be caught. But there it is. There it is. And I'm so proud. It couldn't happen to a better person. And I'm going to tell you, I was never at the beginning a LeBron fan because I always thought that he passed the ball in too many situations, too many clutch situations. I always was like, why are you giving the ball to, whomever? I always bring up, different people, but I won't do that today. But yeah, why is that person getting the ball? Take the shot. But I've grown to appreciate, and I think we should all, especially as we, mature in our community and understand that we need more LeBron Jameses out there who is not just shutting up and dribbling. He's one of the first to have all of his teammates put on a hoodie after Trayvon Martin was murdered. He put on an I Can't Breathe shirt after Eric Gardner's video of him being choked to death came out. He has been at the forefront of talking about social justice issues. You will see him at courtside at WNBA games. He's supportive of all of the ways in which basketball can magnify and improve people's lives. But what he has done in his community is unmatched. And I think that alone. So this scoring record, Kareem Abdul Jabbar, that has been on the books for 40 years, 38,388 points is what he broke last night. So I love it. Absolutely. All right. So who's in line to catch him? Carmelo Anthony is right there at 28,289 points. But is Carmelo even playing anymore? Does he have a team? He would have to average 30 points a game for the next 10,000 games. Is it 1,000 games? I don't think he has enough playing time ahead of him to catch LeBron, and LeBron's still playing. The next person that's in line to catch LeBron is Kevin Durant, who has 26,684 points. He right now is averaging 28 points a season, but he would have to average more than 30 points a game over the next 400 games. So that would actually be what Carmelo would have to do as well, somewhere in there, about 30 points, 28 points a game over the next 400. He would have to average 30 points a game over 400 games. So that, how many seasons is that? 400 divided by 82. Somebody really quickly, that's at least 5 seasons, almost 5 seasons, four seasons and change. And Durant is always injured, and LeBron is still playing. James Harden has 24,000 points. It would take him averaging, and he's averaging less than 25 points a game. I don't think he's catching them either. So I don't see anybody. Steph Curry, y'all said Steph Curry's injured. He's out indefinitely, and he's averaging 24.5 points, almost 25 points a game this season. He has 21,000. He is 17,000 points away. So it'll take him another 5 seasons. And they're all in the same similar age range. So, it's like a couple of years, 3-4 years separating them. And they don't have, I think, 3 or 4 seasons to catch up. When Kareem scored that I actually was alive for him becoming the scoring leader. I was like, man, I remember that because it was a big deal. It's what, 13, 14, 15 years old when he did that 40 years ago? Yes. And it was a big deal, but he was on the end of his career, as LeBron is, but LeBron's playing. Kareem needed magic. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember Kareem was like, I'm dragging my ass up and down this court, but it is difficult. And here's a sky hook for you. Sky hook for you is all I can do right now. Sky hook this, sky hook. Yeah, here. Whew. All right. Coach, I need to, holding his back. It was rough to watch. That said, Russell Westbrook has 24,000. I guess maybe he can't catch him because no, I don't think so. So those are the people who could catch him. Carmelo, not. Kevin Durant, James Harden, Russell Westbrook, Chris Paul. Y'all think that? Nope. Stephen Curry, DeMar DeRozan is next in line with 21,000. LaMarcus Aldridge, is he still in the league? Joe Johnson, is he still in the league? Dwight Howard definitely is not in the league. He's got 19,000 points. I didn't even know he had that many. Dame Lillard, 18,000. That's like 22,000 points away. He would have to score like double what he's already scored and then some over how many? Yeah, I don't think he has that in him. Paul George has 15,000 points. Giannis Antetokounmpo, 15,000. I don't think he could catch him either. And Anthony Davis, who we call Street Clothes, is rounding out the top 20, and right behind him is Kyrie Irving. So those are the potential people who are still playing. And I guess there are people that aren't born yet or people in high school. But LeBron James, what he did was incredible. And I think it is worthy of the time that I spent.